Good evening and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the Common Council of the City of Hartford bi-weekly meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I ask you to please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call. Steve?
All council persons are here except for Alderperson Kohler, who is absent and excused.
Thank you very much. We have before us a unanimous consent agenda, which includes our Common Council minutes of October 8th, as well as the suspension of the downtown parking regulations for the upcoming holidays, Friday, November 8th through Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. So we will give you the break on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. This is an annual thing that we always do. For the unanimous consent agenda,
Move to approve.
President Rusniak, second by Alderperson Savage.
Motion by Alderperson Rusniak, seconded by Alderperson Savage, to approve the two items on the unanimous consent agenda.
Any further questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you very much. Communications.
Yeah, just one item tonight. Again, if you have, just recently received your CIP budget, which is a 3-ring binder. You've also just received, about 2 weeks ago, your operations budget, also a 3-ring binder. If you have old ones and would like to get rid of them and unload your house before you retire from this job and give us 40 of them, please drop them off at City Hall up in our department so that we can reuse those for future budgets.
Thank you very much.
Your spouses will thank you.
Yes, they will. Appearances and citizen comments. Anybody wishing to make from our vast studio audience any types of comments that they would have for the city council is welcome to come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and you get 3 glorious minutes. Second call, third call. Mayor's report. Mayor's report is I did vote early this morning with my beautiful bride, Anne Marie. We went down. There was already a line, and I had to go back a couple hours later, and the line was actually a little longer, which was interesting. Our phenomenal staff was doing a wonderful job keeping everything moving. What did you say, Shanna and
Shanna and Jessica?
Jessica, yeah, thank you, never sat down. I mean, it was just constant motion. And at one time, the line, how long did you say it got?
45 minutes for some people.
45 minits. So please understand that's because it was the first day. We do have extended hours. If you go to our website, which is ci.hartford.wi.us, right on the front page, there's a line that says you can click on here to find out what the hours are, and it gives you a wonderful little PDF that you can view or easily print out that will allow you then to see the times for each day that we have. They do vary, so you're going to want to check it out or call ahead. And of course, we do have hours on both Saturdays, this Saturday and next Saturday. So we are making every effort to make sure that all the citizens of the city of Hartford have the opportunity to vote in this very important election. So, and of course, there are 3 items that are not necessarily voting for people. One of them is if you want to make sure that everybody is a citizen that actually votes for not only national but state and local elections. We can add that to our Constitution. And then there are 2 referenda, one for Joint 1 and one for HUHS. If you're interested in, I think the one HUHS, if you're interested in to have your taxes go up. So that's entirely up to you, not telling anybody how to vote. So with aldermanic requests, we have President Rusniak.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Okay, Alderperson Regan.
Nothing tonight.
Alderperson Curley.
I got a few. The Police and Fire Commission met on October 9th and confirmed the following promotions of Chief McFarland. To the position of Operations Lieutenant, Jesse Deckert, effective October 10th. To the role of Police Sergeant, Mitchell Kramer, also effective the same day. With a welcome to our new police officer, Justin Bemis, on or after October 10th, subject to successful completion of all pre-hire conditions. I'd like to extend congratulations to Officer Cole who was named, Parker, who was named the 2024 Handler of the Year by the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Canine Handler Association during its conference earlier this month. Parker and Canine Flash, who were paired together in April of 2022, were one of 169 canine teams to attend their conference.
That's great.
We also have a new officer who has just completed his classes at the Fox Valley Technical College, and that is Police Officer Joe Cohen, who will be joining the department shortly. He was also listed as the class president of his class and received a Craig Burkholz Award, which was given to the recognition in leadership excellence. And finally, we have a new police support specialist, and that is Gina Jurgen, who's also with the department. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Alderperson Garza.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Turchi.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Webb.
I just wanted to echo the mayor's comments that everybody should get out and vote, regardless of what your political views are, and also to be nice to your neighbors, especially if you don't have the same political views.
A wise thing. Alderperson Phillip.
Thank you for that, Justin. Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Savage.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you very much. With that, we have standing committee reports, finance, and personnel.
One item tonight, discussion and consideration of approving a reserve Class B beer and Class B liquor license for Swing Anytime LLC for premises located at 49 Liberty Avenue. I believe this is out in the strip mall by Walmart, where the shoe sensation used to be in.
Correct.
That's
So
hard to say.
where that was located, again, they are looking to put up a simulator bar. Simulator means simulating sports, primarily golf, but they can do many other different simulations. And then, of course, it also has a bar with it. So that, again, went before the Finance and Personnel Committee at their last meeting earlier this month and was unanimously approved.
Questions, comments? If not, back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Would look for a motion to, Alderperson Phillip, Alderperson Curley.
I'm sorry, Savage?
No, Phillip Curley.
Curley, thank you.
As you look.
Motion by Alderperson Phillips, second by Alderperson Curley, to approve the Class B beer and Class B liquor license for Swing Anytime LLC for premises located at 49 Liberty Avenue.
Any further comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Public Works Utilities, we have nothing. We go to resolutions and possible action. Thereon, resolution number 3698, a resolution correcting the legal description for tax incremental district number 13, City of Hartford. And with that, we have our city planner.
Thank you, Mayor. So on September 24th, 2024, the Common Council approved a resolution creating TID number 13. We submitted it to the state. Upon review of the Department of Revenue, it was determined that the legal description did not meet the map. There was 3 parcels missing in the legal description that were on the map. This resolution amends that and corrects that and adds those 3 parcels to it. This does not impact the timeline or the starting timeline for the TID. This is just to move forward with the parcels as indicated in the map. And this did not impact the legal description error did not impact the public hearing notices that were in the paper.
Okay.
Does he have to read that entire description?
Yes, you have to read, you're right.
No, he did that.
The kicker is I found out we don't have to have that long of legal description. It can be a general description for TIDs.
Okay, well, we will make that.
So in the future.
In the future, thank you, Jacob Mass. Good. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, then for Resolution 3698, we have Alderperson Curley, second by Alderperson, somebody raise their hand, Fulop. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Motion by Alderperson Curley, seconded by Alderperson Fulop, to approve the amended legal description for TID number 13.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, we're into ordinances. No first reading. We do have a second reading, ordinance number 1496. This is an ordinance amended section 7.25, creating section 8.13, amending section 22.02 sub 3, and creating section 340.0014 sub 7 of the Hartford Municipal Code relating to regulation of alcohol and special events in the city. There is an executive summary attached, which I think we all took a look at, to cover ordinance number 1496 and ordinance number 1497. Steve, you're handling that?
Yeah, so again, the situation, Attorney Ian Proust was here last meeting to again present some of the changes. Again, as you remember, there was a couple of things that were brought up. Alderperson Webb had brought up one correction he was looking to be made. Also, a business owner, manager of the Auto Museum, Wisconsin Auto Museum, was also here looking for a correction. So those were made. You'll find those on page 14, item number 9, in your packet. And so, again, the recommendation of the staff is to approve the changes to those ordinances.
Do we have any questions for Steve on this? Justin, is the correction to your, okay,
Yeah.
good. Wanted to make sure. Okay, everybody else? fine
And
with
Dawn
that?
is happy with what transpired?
Correct, yeah, she worked with Ian that night and got, wording that, if you saw the wording, it basically says, if there's some other description or agreement that we have, that supersedes these changes.
Okay, super, thank you. Well, this is a second reading, so there's no reason to suspend the rules to my knowledge because we've gone over it once. Therefore, would look for a motion to approve ordinance number 1496, or amending. Alderperson Fulop, second by Alderperson Garza. There you go, thank you.
The second was?
Fulop and Garza.
Motion by Alderperson Fulop, second by Alderperson Garza, to amend section 7.25, creating section 8.13, amending section 22.02 subsection 3, and creating section 340.0014 subsection 7 of the Hartford Municipal Code.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, we have ordinance number 1497, an ordinance repealing and recreating Chapter 35 of the code entitled Alcohol Beverages.
Again, the first reading was last meeting. Again, this is an update to the alcoholic beverages ordinance, ordinance 1497. Again, we all went through this last meeting, talking about, again, primarily what is entitled and what is allowed under the new rules from the state regarding alcoholic beverages. Again, this is going to really touch upon the changes that have occurred with the growth of brew pubs and microbreweries and things like that. So, any questions? Again, this is a second reading, so there's no reason to
Suspend the rules.
suspend the rules. Thank you.
Correct, you bet. Therefore, would look for motion to approve. Alderperson Curley, second by Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Curley, seconded by Alderperson Turchi, to repeal and recreate Chapter 35 of the code entitled Alcoholic Beverages.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, we have our city administrator's report. First off, the third quarter general fund results. Steve?
Yeah, so if you go to page 27 of your packet, 27 basically just reads that looking at the third quarter, end of the third quarter, the city was at 79.27 of the budget. General fund revenues at the end of the current third quarter. This is nearly the same as the average of the prior 8 years, which was 78.91. The total general fund expenses for the current year, third quarter, is at 67% of the total budget. That percentage is slightly lower than the average of the prior 8 years, which is 71.75. So again, both positive directions. If you look at the revenues versus expenses, we are ahead in revenues by 1.4 million, which is a good increase over the second quarter figures in which we were just 390,000 ahead. If you look at trends, we're projection to have expenses at 91%, 91.67, and revenues at 101.39 of the budget, which again would give us an estimated surplus of 1.1 million if all things being equal. So good news financially for us after the third quarter.
Super, thank you very much. The next item, the discussion and consideration of amendments to the draft 2025 City of Hartford operation and utility budget and order to publish. I just did want to make a comment or two beforehand. First, I wanted to thank Steve and the entire staff for putting together what I consider an excellent budget. I mean, very, very thorough. What I did really like too, and I enjoyed quite a bit, is your executive summary and your breakdown of what has changed. It does make it very easy to go through because once you read this, you know exactly what you want to do through it. And to have, I mean, your skill set in bringing it to bear for making it that much easier for us to approve a budget, which I think is a very fine piece of work and a phenomenal job of the people that you have working with and for you in each of the department heads. The ability to hold down costs when we are in a time, I mean, inflation over these last 4 years hit as high as 9.1%. And not only did it hit the city, but it hit everybody whose pockets we stick our hands in to collect money because, of course, and I bring this up each time, we have a confiscatory tax policy. That means if you don't pay your property taxes, we confiscate your house. It takes 5 years to do it, but I mean, we're very serious about it, and we make sure to do everything that we can to be the best possible stewards of every dollar you give us. And I think that this budget reflects that effort to a tremendous degree. So I wanted to personally thank you on that.
Thank you.
I did have one question, which I just thought was interesting, is because I get to do this. Let's just jump ahead one thing. There was a percentage that you had, and I believe it was for the stormwater. And I just wanted you to be able to explain it only because of the fact that the number kind of leaps off the page at you with, you know, a percentage in the thousands. And if you could just explain real quick, you know, what that is, why that number comes out the way it does as regards to the stormwater that you have stapled to your executive summary.
Okay, so I don't have mine stapled, so I'm not exactly sure where you're going. But anyways, let me just talk about that. So
Okay.
probably back in August it was when we presented to the council the idea of creation of a stormwater utility, which today we're finding more and more the need of. With our discussion today, hand slapping from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. But that being said, we were anticipating at that time, if all things being equal and no other additions to the budget, that the stormwater utility would reduce the mill rate by roughly around 22 cents. Again, unfortunately, all things were not equal as we were preparing the budget. A couple things, again, the highlights, the cocktail conversation is we are adding additional staff to fire department as we ramp up for the 2026 occupancy of the second firehouse. Our goal is to get actually 3 more full-time firefighters. This past year, we added 2
Is it firefighters or paramedics?
firefighter paramedics.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just want to make that clear. We don't
yeah.
do full-time firefighters.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So the situation is that, again, when we get ready in the third quarter of 2026 with the new firehouse, we're going to need additional staff, and so we're slowly but surely ramping that up. We had 2 join us in July of this year, so they were half a year, and they will be full year in 2025. And then we're adding an additional staff member in July of 2025. We're looking to add in 2026, 1 in January, and then 1 in July, and that will get us to where we need to get. That's roughly 16 full-time paramedic firefighters working for us. And as the mayor said, again, the big the biggest concern isn't the fire as much as it is the EMTs, right? Our call volume for EMTs continues to be on the rise, and we know it's going to continue as some of you get older. I'm still getting younger, but Wayne's getting younger, obviously. But the situation is that we need to be prepared for that occupancy of the second house. The other thing that we're also doing is we're changing some of the things around in the police department. We've talked about, and Alderperson Curley talked about some of the additions that we're adding in 2025 to the police department, if approved. And so those are the two big things. So if somebody asks you what's coming out of the budget, we're adding additional EMTs, paramedics, and also a police officer, actually two different members of the police department. So at the end of the day, also the other thing that I'll bring up, because it is going to be something that we have to address in 2025, is you might remember in 2022, for those who were here, we did a reval, which again, the company that we hired went through your homes or around your homes and did a total reval. That was greatly needed because by the Department of Administration, Department of Revenue, we need to have our equalized value and our assessed value fit within 90% to 110% of each other. And in the very short period of time, since 2022, we've already fallen out of compliance. And this year we'll be at about 89, 86%, somewhere in there. So why is that happening? Obviously, as the mayor talked about too, is the economy continues to grow, cost of housing continues to grow. And so the value of existing homes will continue to grow also at almost a record pace. I mean, in less than 4 years, we've fallen out of compliance. And so when that happens, we assess the residential and commercial, but the state assesses the industrial/manufacturing. They will then take that total assessment and look at what our ratio is, and right now it's 89%, and they will give the assessment to us for manufacturing only at 89%, so we're losing 11%. So we'll need to adjust that in 2025, pay a little bit more money than we normally pay to, again, get a market rate adjustment to all properties in 2025. So that'll be something to get us back to that 100%. So the assessed value and the equalized value will be the same. And again, a reminder, equalized value means your exact house on your exact size property and your exact quality of home, and the same one in Grafton and Germantown and West Bend, all should be the same value. And that's what an equalized value is. It means equal houses will be assessed the same. The assessed value is actually what it's assessed for right now. And so when those fall out of compliance and get outside the 10% mark is when we have an issue. And so we will need to address that in 2025 with a market rate adjustment. So don't be surprised if come second or third quarter of 2025 that you don't get one of those nice letters from the assessor saying, by the way, the value of your home has now gone up to X. Again, that's a thing that we have to continue to do, which will actually help our overall tax rate going forward in 2026. So very long answer, very short question, but I thought it important because it's a key part to why our tax rate what it is. But at the end of the day, again, our tax rate continues to fall. Next year, we're looking at 456 and 474 for Dodge County. Again, over the last 30 years, it's never been that low before. So historic low levels for a much higher amount of service that we provide. So you should be very proud of that.
Okay, and I did find the stormwater management, it's item number, I think it's 323 on here. The percentage is 21,480.35%. And I was just making sure that if anybody looks at this, they're going to go, what is the stormwater management public charges for service percentage? Obviously, it goes up quite a bit because you go from 2023 actual is 0, 2024 budget is 2,000, And then the proposed budget for 2025 is 431,607.
Yep.
You know, if you could just give just a brief.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for, yeah. So the reason being is, again, by the creation of the stormwater utility, you now have a revenue stream which you did not have before, which is going to be that little addition of $5 on your monthly utility bill, which will, again, goes directly to stormwater. It does not go to anything else.
Right. And that's why the huge percentage, because we just started it, so you're going from 2,000 to 400,000, obviously makes a big thing. But the number kind of jumps off the page of all the
Yeah,
numbers. that I
thank
was
you.
looking
And
at.
I apologize, I didn't recognize what you're talking about.
No worries, okay. For those of you who had time to go and take your wonderful document here, which hard to give up these folders when you guys do such a beautiful job on this. If anybody has any questions as regards to what our city administrator, Steve Volkert, is bringing up for any amendments to the draft, because this is a draft in front of us, 2025 City of Hartford Operation and Utility Budget, and then have an order to publish. So if you have any, Alderperson Curley.
Steve, one thing that I would like to see added to the police budget, and this goes for the Police and Fire Commission, over the last 20-some years when I've been involved with them, we've had the deaths of former chiefs, members of the Police and Fire Commission, and I just want to see a couple $100 put in a bereavement account to access by the Police and Fire Commission, basically for funeral flowers. That in the past, I don't know where the money came out of, but there should be something there that the Police and Fire Commission could have access to.
I will take a look at that, and I will get back to you on if Scott has that put into a different account. It could be in a line item that I just don't see.
Okay, because I can't find one.
Thank you, Alderperson Fulop.
So this is a public document. I had a conversation earlier with Steve on this, and I asked that we have a look at the mission objective statements and things like that, and just make sure they're consistent between the departments, and have a look, as I noticed some of the information was older. I just want them refreshed, and as the public sees this, I want to make sure that it has uniformity and has a professional presentation in some of those aspects. Love the numbers, no issues with that at all. Just looking for more optics as to alignment within the departments on their mission, vision, and objectives that they have for the departments. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Alderperson Webb.
Oh, I just wanted to, this is more like a comment, but I noticed that the police department is upgrading their tasers, and I spent a decent amount of time reading about the new TASER X10. So it has a maximum range of 45 feet, so good luck running.
What are they doing with the old tasers? That's what you really want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to run.
Okay, with that, President
I
Rusniak.
just got a cute comment in addition to thanking you, you and the department heads for a great budget. Thanks for that tax rate sheet.
Yes.
We built our house in 2001. The tax rate was $7.50. This year, or next year, the tax rate's going to be $4.56. That's quite a reduction through the years of the city tax rate. So I think our department head should be commended, Steve should be commended, and the city council should be commended for helping make all that possible. We went from $7.50 to $4.56 in 21 years. That's very commendable.
In 21 years, you also had one full-time firefighter and
Yeah.
the fire chief.
Correct.
Right.
And today you've got 13.
Yep,
So that's quite a jump.
big change.
Yes, it is. Super. Any other comments, questions? If not, President Rusniak, did that mean you wanted to
I will move to adopt the
move to
proposed
adopt the
budget.
proposed budget? And a second by Alderperson Regan.
Motion by Alderperson Rusniak, seconded by Alderperson Regan. And I want to make sure I get the terminology right on this.
Adopting the.
Yeah, to accept the draft.
Accepted. Right.
Consideration of amendments to the draft 2025 City of Hartford Operation and Utility Budget in order to publish.
Okay, we have a motion before us to accept all the amendments and to move forward with the draft 2025 City of Hartford operation and utility budget, which we have in front of us, and give our city administrator an order to publish. Any further comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. For adjournment, Alderperson Savage, Alderperson Webb.
Oh, I'm sorry. I usually don't have to handle it. I'm sorry, who was that made the motion?
Savage Webb.
Savage
He's
Webb.
allowed to sleep, right?
Motion by Alderperson Savage, second by Alderperson Webb, to adjourn the meeting at 7:28.
Well, we do the whole budget and we get 728. Isn't that outstanding? For adjournment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We stand adjourned. Thank you.